Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 11.
Woo! Episode
Very
11.
fun. Very
wow.
fun.
Can you believe that? I can't.
It's, you know what amazes me? That every episode we do, the number gets bigger.
That's so true!
Isn't that cool? That's pretty
Mind
freaking wild.
blown! Oh, yeah.
New change of scenery as well.
Again.
Last recording location was taken. Found another spot. Will I get kicked out? Will the lights randomly turn off? Will my computer die because it's not plugged in? All of those possibilities.
It's a possibility.
Yep.
That's what we do it for. The thrill.
The thrill of maybe security coming in and saying GTFO. So we'll see.
Man. Okay, I want to say something else. So, change of hair. I cut my hair.
You
It
did
is
get a little
short on the
haircut.
sides. What? What in the what?
Yep.
When I have my headphones on, it honestly looks the same.
Really?
But, yeah.
I have
at least
something
from the
nobody's going to care about. I trimmed my beard ever so slightly the other day because it was getting too long.
Yeah?
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Hey, it's clean. You're clean, bro.
It is now. Yep, it's cleaned up. You know, what are you going to do?
I mean, nothing. I can't because I'm so far away.
There you go.
But yeah, man.
This is going to be an uncomfortable podcast because I'm sitting
How
at
so?
an actual school desk. There's no cushion. It's just those awful, like, actual school seats. No fun. No bueno. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, when was the last time you sat in one of those?
2 days ago.
Yikes.
Actually, no. This semester I only have one in-person class, and we sit at like long tables, so it's just like a detached seat. So I actually haven't sat in one of these for a warm minute, not a hot minute, but a warm minute. You know,
It's been lukewarm going on towards,
Tepid.
toasty. Tepid.
is tepid room temperature or also lukewarm?
I think tepid is like almost hot.
Okay,
That's where Tepig gets his name from,
that's
I
what
realize.
I imagined. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to say, man,
Ooh.
it's been pretty hot doing this podcast so far.
Before you get into that, do we
Yeah?
want to start with a high five?
I would love nothing more.
Because we did not get it last time. It was close, I think.
It was
but
bad.
we did
No, it
we
wasn't.
did not get it. Okay,
Oh.
here's what we're gonna do. You're
Okay.
gonna go right when you hear me say go, and I'm gonna go like a fraction of a second after. All right, you ready?
Okay, so as you say go, I should be at the 5.
Yeah, right. No, as you say go, your hand goes forward.
Okay, so
So-
at what point should I make it hit?
The hit is as long as it takes you to get there after the word go.
So I start moving on go.
Yup, and I'm gonna start moving right after go. That's the play.
Okay.
Gotta get
Okay.
limber. I did shoulders earlier today, so I'm gonna do little stretches to get this ready. Okay.
Yep.
Are
gotta
you
get-
prepared?
I am limber loose rubber goose. Let's do it.
All right. So it's 3, 2, 1, go. Ready? Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Dude, I felt it in my bones. That was a good one.
Yeah?
In the bones. Had to be.
Deep in the bone.
We're now at episode 11. We need to start getting that down. You
Dude,
know?
that's 2 legs next to each other. 2 bones.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly it. What you were saying, you were excited about what we're doing, you know?
Yeah, I'm so excited because I'm looking at the analytics right now. So we go through Anchor to upload our podcast,
Yep.
and then we kind of send it out everywhere, except for YouTube, which we do the video, which is a separate little deal ski. But just for like the podcast on Spotify, Anchor does well at managing it.
Yeah, they do solid.
We get so much. I'm so happy that you guys are actually spending time to listen to us. Right now, we have nearly 250 plays overall.
It's very fun. When we originally started, it was just because like we had thought about it for a while, and we were like, hey, this would be really fun to do. Also, how cool would it be if people listened?
Right.
With the full expectation that we'd get like 4 to 5 listens every podcast.
We thought it'd be our mom and our mom's brother. Like,
It's kind of it, and like if somebody from Norway watched, that'd be cool. But
Exactly.
like, people are watching. It's very exciting.
Yeah, most of our base is from the United States of America,
Yup.
but we do have a single listener from Norway. Thank you for tuning
Very
in
fun.
across the seas to the
I
good
feel
old
like I
US of
should
A.
know this, but do they speak English in Norway? I feel like they do.
I'm sure they speak English because we're the best country in the world. Why wouldn't everybody?
Because I know like Swedish is a language, right? Isn't it? Or
Right.
Finnish. I think they have languages, but I think they also speak English. I'm like super non-educated about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I think we've already talked about the geographic location thing. Like you click on the button, and it goes back through the planets.
Yeah,
It's pretty
for
neat.
some reason they have the option to tell what planets your viewers are from. So far, only Earth, kind of upsetting.
I know, we gotta get it out.
We haven't done the Facebook marketing to get to Mars yet. So we have to move our target audience to other planets. That's what it is.
This is true.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, so far, guys, thank you for listening. This is freaking sweet.
It's awesome.
I do
Bunch
love
of
it.
Fun.
Oh yeah, pretty rad.
I would not be here risking my life in this average classroom, okay, if it wasn't fun. Yeah.
I'm having a blast, I have to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what wanted you, Trent, to make a podcast just on your own brain?
I was like, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to the Rooster Teeth podcast for a while. They're just like a huge internet company.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube and stuff. And they did one. They do once a week, and they're on episode almost 600 now. So they've been doing it for a long time, over 10 years.
That's wild.
And I listened to them for a while, and then they started a new one, and I dropped off of it for a little while. I haven't gone back to it yet, but it's called the Sunday Sauce.
Okay.
And it was very similar to the kind of thing we're doing, where it's just like two dudes just chatting it up, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, the vibe was cool. I was like, that's awesome. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I had a YouTube channel back in the day, you know, back when I was like 12, 13. Very much enjoyed making content. It was fun.
Was that Alien Apocalypse?
It was my name.
Ooh, I remember
Yes,
it.
sir.
Jeez.
And it was just enjoyable making content. It was kind of fun. I listened to the podcast I really listen to a lot is Critical Role, which almost doesn't count as a podcast because it's like they're doing D&D the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the idea of content creation is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely.
But you?
I've kind of always wanted to just have an imprint, something to leave behind when I am. So.
There you go.
I just like having something out there, even if it's not looked at a lot. There is still some measure of me out in the universe. So
Yeah.
I thought that's pretty neat. And also, I really like talking. I talk a lot. Just
Yeah,
in general.
no, ADHD will do that to you. It definitely helps.
Does that to a fellow for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I listen to a decent amount of podcasts right now. So like, ones that I've kept up on, I'd say, are another D&D podcast. Not another D&D podcast by some of the people on College Humor. Do that?
That sentence is going to confuse so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the
I'm a confusing
podcast,
boy.
the other D&D podcast that he listens to is called Not Another D&D podcast. Super inconvenient people who don't know anything about podcasts or D&D.
Truth. Very truth.
Yeah.
Much concern. Thank you, Trent, for clarifying.
Of course.
But yeah, I listened to that. I listened to Pass Gas by...
Classy.
Yeah. Who's it by? Donut Media, which is like a car YouTube channel, and they do a lot of car stuff. I highly recommend them if you like cars. The Super Mega Cast, which is just two dudes who play video games together who talk about things. They just do whatever. Kind of like us, in a sense, but they talk about anything. And they are extremely inappropriate, which is kind of funny. And then
Exactly.
the Lunch Club podcast, which got canceled and is now Chuckle Sandwich.
Which is solid.
I'm
Very
super
good.
excited to start listening to that. I think they're only 2 episodes in.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Sleep Deprived podcast?
I have not.
It is a podcast, an old one, by Schlatt, who is a member of the Chuckle Sandwich podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him and 3 of his friends who I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And it's just the dumbest, most chaotic thing ever. And it's a work of art because they talk about nothing for like 20 something minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they always end up talking about airplanes somehow every time. And the description of every single episode is join Schlatt and the 3 others, whatever their names are, talk about airplanes for 23 minutes. Join Schlatt and the 3 others, talk about airplanes for 21 minutes. Just however long the episode is, that's the same description every time. And I live for that.
That's so funny.
It's incredible.
Oh my gosh. I absolutely love his new thing that he's doing, Schlatt.
Yeah.
He's made a separate YouTube channel just for like small, tiny videos.
Just for like 47-second clips.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
But his reasoning that he told everyone was like, I just want to make money off of the dumb little things that I do. So
He's
I'm
like,
just
yeah,
gonna...
I see these clips going around, and you know what? I want to make money off of it. So here it is. And they're golden. They're great.
I don't even care. He's making money. Good, he's making money off of them.
And there you go.
That's the way to be. But I love at the beginning of his videos, when he has his ad break, he just goes like, you know what time it is. And he holds up his wallet. That's the funniest thing. He's like, it's Raid Shadow Legends, baby.
He screams the advertisement name as loud as he can.
Yep.
It's so good.
He's a funny guy.
What other YouTubers do you often listen to? Or watch, I guess I should say.
So,
What
I'd
are
say
your,
the ones
like,
that I
top
really...
couple?
My top couple, the ones that usually keep me coming back, I would say are Game Theory and like all the channels related to Game Theory. Just because I like
Classic.
lore. I like lore stuff. Shoot. I'm gonna have to look on my YouTube real quick. You sauced me up with what you
You're well versed.
I know.
Yeah, I got a couple. I watch some Rocket League content.
Yeah.
Sean's Con does a lot of good stuff there.
Truth.
Critical Role, I usually watch their YouTube videos, not the podcast, because they do video.
Okay.
And then one that's kind of off the beaten path from what I usually watch, called Corridor Digital. They're not really off the beaten path for most people. They're huge. They have millions of subscribers.
Right.
But they're really cool. If you like anything to do with film or special effects or any of that, go check them out. They're really fun. They do just... My favorite series of them is they analyze special effects, good and bad. So they'll look at like current movies like Avengers or really old movies like Lion King or whatever, just like any type of movie at all that has special effects in it.
Right.
And they will analyze really good and bad scenes and what they could have done better in them because they're like really talented special effects artists. And it's like just like super interesting to like see how they did it. They go through like how a movie would produce this kind of content. Like, okay, how do they make Thor all of a sudden like swing his hammer and fly into the air?
Right.
And they go through and they show you the levels they do it and how long it takes. Like Planet of the Apes, they go through, how does somebody map a body and all that kind of stuff. It's they do cool stuff. It's really interesting.
I actually was scrolling through my YouTube right now looking for stuff, and I did see Quarter Crew as one of the videos.
Yeah, that's their second channel.
I always watch Binging with Babish. So, I don't know if you've heard about Binging with Babish.
I've heard the name, but I have no idea what he does.
So he's a cooking YouTuber, but he's not like a chef or anything. He's a home cook, and he started out kind of just all by himself. And Lily actually got me a book for like the first birthday she spent with me.
Dude, an absolute scholar on the podcast this week.
Oh my gosh. I know, I'm reading books.
Look at you.
Book boy. But yeah, it's just like he makes food from movies and TV shows. Like,
ooh, that's cool.
He's made stuff from... Oh, shoot. I always forget stuff. I am the dumbest boy in the world at this current moment.
It's when the pressure's on,
But no, he makes food. He
Very
makes
fun.
food. I can't
Very
name
fun.
anything off the top of my head, but he is such a genuine guy. If you like cooking, if you like movies and TV shows, just go check him out. He's super rad.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
I listen to him. I'll listen to, I think this guy named Hugbees. He does, like, how it's actually made. You know, it's like the how it's made channel. It's
Yeah.
like shows you how things are made, and then he goes and it shows you how it's actually made.
That's
And he
cool.
just makes up crap as things are being made.
That's fantastic.
So they talk about, like, peanut butter and how peanut butter was chewed up and spit out by orphans or something like that. Just like the weirdest stuff. It's like, well, that's obviously not how it's made. But it always
Yeah.
slowly creeps up, so he starts off real.
Oh,
And then he
just,
slowly
adds
goes
stuff where
down.
You're like, oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. The last one I'll talk about, and I forgot, I watched one of his videos today. Trey Kennedy.
Trey Kennedy.
He is every middle-aged Facebook mom's dream. Like, not as in like a person, but like his videos are like perfectly like your mom and dad's humor.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it's not like super weird and like deep and like memey. It's just straightforward. He just like does a lot of stereotypes. So like girls in the fall with their, you know, pumpkin spice lattes, or the difference between people who walk into Target and Walmart. And they're just really funny, like 5-minute skits. They're solid. They're very entertaining. He did one, names in like 2025, and all the names are like I don't again, I'm under pressure. I can't think of them. They're like super weird names. So like
Yeah.
Craxton and like Branton and like just super like unique weird name, a bunch of X's, you know?
Yeah.
Like millennials trying to name their kids cool things. And his reactions to them are just really funny. He just does a good job.
That's pretty funny, yeah. The last person I'll say I watch is Cass Vandepol. He does animations. So, like, he's done cartoon recaps, and they're often, like, really gory, but he'll, like, take a whole movie and compress it into, like, 5 minutes or so. He got really famous for doing Avatar The Last Airbender, like, all the 3 seasons. And hilarious guy. Absolutely hilarious. He made one video specifically aimed at Kappa, which is the, like, child something that limited people from putting stuff on YouTube that wasn't child friendly, even though it was labeled not child friendly. So it like wiped all of this ad revenue off of these channels that weren't geared towards kids. It's like, well, what is YouTube Kids for? That specific app, if not for the videos that you want are kid friendly. If you don't want your kid to watch it, put it on regular YouTube. Let people make what they want. So people were getting way out of money. And so he was getting copyright striked, I think. Not copyright strike, but he was getting...
Like videos taken down.
He was getting videos taken down because they weren't kid-friendly when it was like, oh, it's an animation, it should be friendly. So he made this video of him sitting at his desk drawing, and some guy with a Kappa t-shirt comes in, he's like, oh, rah, 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 and he just, like, shotguns his face off in his cute little animation style. There's blood everywhere, and he just looks at the camera and he's like, no. No.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, he... Pretty funny. Pretty funny guy. I highly recommend all of his videos because the animation is quality. He's really starting to pump out videos now, so that's got me excited. I think he's about to do the SpongeBob movie, the first one.
Oh, yeah?
He's done, like, The Incredibles. He's done, like I said, Avatar The Last Airbender. He's done, I don't think Moana, but Lilo and Stitch.
What
really funny.
what other kind of stuff do you watch that's not on YouTube? You a big like Netflix, Hulu type of guy? What are your like top on those? What's your like go-to if you're not in a YouTube mood?
If I'm not in a YouTube mood, I like to watch different shows because I'm not one to repeat stuff over and over again. So I've gone through all of the basic ones, like The Office, watched all the way through. Parks and Rec, done. Just like all those kind of basic TV shows. I think I've watched some of like 90210. watched all the Jackass movies. I watched Inception the other night for the first time. That's a good movie.
That's solid. It's a classic.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And then I watch a lot of anime, which I'm starting to get you into, which I'm excited about.
Dipping toes in, you know.
We're dipping in.
Yeah.
We're dipping you in. So
For sure.
before I go into anime, because I feel like that's a separate whole thing, tell me about your watching habits.
Yeah,
other than
so
YouTube.
it depends where I am. So here, when I'm at college, I watch a lot of certain shows with my roommates. The two we're watching right now, back and forth, depending on who's in the room with us. We watch a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Great show. We're like halfway through it right now.
Okay.
Just solid, very funny.
Tight.
And then we are now halfway through season 2 of Letterkenny. Letterkenny is so goddamn funny.
So funny.
It's such a weird if you have not seen Letterkenny, it's on Hulu. Go watch it right now. I don't even care if you finish the episode. Go watch it.
Get a peek.
It is so funny. It's the simplest show. And there's two things about it I like. I like how simple it is. It's this little, like, hick town in Canada. They use the word, like, hicks and skids and, like, all these terms.
Right.
And it's just this little town of 5,000 people in Canada called Letterkenny, and just their interactions. So, like, this group will interact with this group, will interact with this group. There's, like, hockey players. And the other part of the show I like so much is how fast the dialogue is. So it's not like Brooklyn Nine-Nine where there's plot, 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 funny joke, plot, 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 funny joke. It's like they're just throwing out one-liners one after another for the whole show.
Yep.
They'll just have conversations that last like 2 minutes where there's no silence and all of it's funny. It's just, and it's also one of the most quotable shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you can't quote a whole lot. You can say like smart or like cool, 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 cool.
Right.
But there's not a whole lot of quotes in the show. Letterkenny, there's like just tons. I mean, there's got to be 10 things I could say right now that you could quote super easily.
Say them right now. Putting you on the spot. Do it.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. This isn't a saying, but the whole double tap when you do a shot glass. You have whatever Shorzy says.
Give her balls a tug.
There it is. And then that's what I appreciates about you. There's just
Oh, so that's what you appreciates about me.
Yeah, it's so quotable, and they're all just incredible. If you have not seen Letterkenny, you are missing out.
I need to rewatch that.
Top-notch humor. It is not appropriate. They drop the F-bomb like 80 times an episode, but it is quality. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'd say Shorzy is probably one of my favorite characters just because you never see his face, but he's always the one to get onto the hockey players.
Yeah, it's just it's great. It's a great show.
And that's something I really like about shows like that is like there's such a broad cast of characters. So you've got the farmers who are like the main characters, and then you've got the skids who are like the druggy emo group.
Yeah.
And then there's the hockey players, like the sporty guys, the workout people. Then there's like a cartel. You've got like another hockey team. There's like so many different areas, and they're all so many different ways to play with each character and have them interact with different people. There's a gay pastor.
That's true.
Which is such a weird thing.
They're also so like not original, but like unique, I guess is the word. Like none of them are like, okay, you're gonna play a dude.
Right.
They're all like, okay, you're gonna play a dude. Like the main character stands up, super stiff, puts his arm out, and is like very like robotic with his motions, and has like a bunch of like really interesting, weird, like unique characteristics, and every character has them. So it's not like filler character 17. It's like this character has all of these qualities. They're all super unique and like built. It's super cool. It's a lot of fun.
They're very fleshed out. Yeah. And speaking of a very fleshed out cast, I will now dip into the anime that we're watching together.
However, I will stop you because there's one more show I want to mention before we delve.
Okay.
into that area.
Okay.
And that is Lucifer on Netflix.
Okay, I haven't heard of that. Well, you've told me, but I haven't gotten all that into it.
It's so good. It's not for everyone. If you're like super religious, it might offend you because it's about like the devil, like existing in real life. But it's a super interesting show, very funny, very actiony, and it pulls some interesting religious questions, but it mostly just kind of has fun with religion. So like the devil, Lucifer, is a real person on Earth, and he like tells people he's the devil, but nobody believes him. And so it's just like him being the actual devil, and like his angel brothers come down and interact with people, and like slowly people might like kind of start to catch on, but like he comes down and nobody knows he's actually the like real devil, and it's just it's basically like a buddy cop show. So he partners up with this detective and they solve crimes, and usually the crime helps Lucifer with like one of his personal issues, so he learns something throughout it. So it's like pretty simply written, but it's really fun. It's a really fun show, and I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but I loved it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lucifer, Supernatural just ended.
Never seen it. Yeah.
That it's one of those shows kind of hard to get into, but then if you get into it and you get invested in the characters, you can just follow it to the moon. They kind of took it there. I won't spoil the ending for anybody who watches Supernatural, but man, it was a weird ending, but it was still nice. It was nice.
Well, what's crazy is, I don't want to spoil Lucifer in case anyone's watching that, but there's 5 seasons and they're making one more, but it hasn't been made yet. So I watched all 5 seasons in like a month over break, and the 5th season ends on like the biggest event of the entire show.
Okay.
And now I gotta wait like over a year to watch it again. I'm like just clawing at it because the whole show is all kind of about one thing, and then right at the last moment of the final episode of the final season, it appears and like it manifests right then. You're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
And they cut it.
That's how it works in showbiz, you know? Keep those viewers hooked.
Absolutely. I feel that. So now, going back, taking just a hair of a step back, we're going to talk about anime. Now,
not for super long, but we got to talk about what how I've dipped my foot in, for sure.
So tell me the first anime that you watched, Trent, and I want you to tell the audience. Name it.
No, it was the first one. The first one was Is It Okay to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which is a hilarious title.
Yeah.
And it has actually a really kind of innocent plot, where it's this like kid, but I don't even know how old he is, probably like 14, I don't know. Anime's age is weird, but he's just like a boy, teenager type deal. And he is trying to like level up. It's a very like base level, like there's no metaphor in it. He has to go into a dungeon and like kill monsters, and on his back is like his level, and so you like gain experience. It's very like literal, like adventuring. So there's a dungeon, you level up, you gain new skills, and it's about him trying to be as good as like his crush, who's like super good, and he starts to like level up really fast, and it's just kind of a cool story. And there are like gods in it too. That's like a part of it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It was very entertaining.
I was honestly really surprised when you sent me that anime. I watched through most of it. I was really surprised that you were into that, because it's a little bit more spicy than most anime that I'm a fan of. Because I'm not a huge fan of like the fan service. I can get past it for most stuff, but it's like
I had a different, because I didn't think it was that bad because of what I had thought it was. I thought anime was like pretty risque,
right?
Like often, but it's mostly like fun little jokes about it. It's not like
overly
seriously sexual in any way. It's just like, oh, haha, look at that. And I was like, oh, it really isn't as weird as I thought it would be, you know?
That's how most anime are, and that's what turns most people off, because they see that facial on it and they're like, it looks a little weird. I don't want to look at that. But it's not all that much, and that's why I'm glad that you dove into something that looked like that on the outside.
Yeah, and well, you had been you've been wanting me to try anime for a little while, and so I was like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna watch this show. Like, if I hate it or love it, I do want to watch it through. Because I had tried before, like, I had tried, like, Attack on Titan. And, like, 5 minutes in, I'm like, what on earth am I watching? It's just so bizarre.
That was a weird...
And I think I started to watch it again, and I was like, this is just weird. What are these monster things? They're so weird looking. And I was just like... The one I watched is kind of, it's just simple. It's like, he's going to go kill monsters, and he's a boy, and, you know, it's just... Yeah, it's pretty. It's straightforward. It's simple. I enjoyed it.
Attack on Titan is really good, though. So once you get kind of a grasp of anime as a whole, I suggest you watch through it.
Maybe I'll try again. You know,
because it's good. But the anime that I'm making you watch right now is one of my favorites of, like, all time.
Sky High.
Sky High.
Yep.
So good.
You have to admit, it's very similar to Sky High.
It's pretty similar to Sky High.
It's very similar.
But it went into depth a lot more about it. So we're watching.
It's obviously a whole show. Yeah.
We're watching My Hero Academia, which is class. So
it's good so far.
It's good so far, and it gets better. It's about this boy who's born without superpowers in a world of people who have superpowers, and he's trying to become a hero and go to, like, this hero high school that every, like, great hero went to. And he gets in with the help of his, like, all-time favorite superhero. So it gets a lot more in depth than that, and it goes into, like, the history of quirks. It goes into, like...
Quirks are the superpower name, by the way.
Quirks are the superpowers. That's what they're called. So it goes into depth about, like, how they work with law enforcement and, like, how you can legally and illegally use your quirks. It's just, it gets really in depth, and it's got a very wide cast that it kind of fills in.
It's entertainingly similar to Sky High, because in Sky High, a classic movie I have not watched in a long time, is about this kid whose this is the difference. His parents are, like, super famous, but he doesn't have a power yet.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, he learns it after a while. But they go to a school of superheroes, and they, like, rank them hero or sidekick, and they're, like, ranked based on how good their power is. So it's, like, super interesting. It's a lot of fun to, like, make those parallels all the time, because they're very different medias.
Sidekick! I had to do it once. Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of, this little pin right here is from My Hero. Lily made this for me. It's just a cute little picture of the main character as a kid, like, in his superhero costume. It's really cute. But My Hero Academia gets so much better, my guy. We are in, like,
I'm excited
5?
for, like, the fun fight scenes, because there's been, like, hints of it, like, pretty quick ones, but, like, anime fight scenes are really fun just because they're so like, over the top and, like, crazy, and, like, laws of physics just don't matter.
Right.
So it's ton of fun.
It's incredible. So I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but I'll tell you the second season is a tournament arc. So everybody starts fighting each other.
That's awesome.
It's the best. It is the best. And there's one fight that I'm really looking forward to watching with you, because, like, I go back and watch it sometimes just for fun. One of the best fight scenes I've ever seen.
I'm looking forward to it. We've been using the Hulu. It was Netflix Party before, but now it's just Teleparty. So you can host, like, a co-video thing. It's cool.
So we just watch stuff together. It's pretty tight. I do like it.
Post in the comments below your favorite either YouTubers or, like, shows. Give us some recommendations for things to watch once I finish Letterkenny. Please do. You know?
We need stuff to watch. We need stuff to do. Because we're doing nothing.
I mean, I have way too much to do.
Oh my gosh. You do, yeah.
Hey, you know?
I've been on this weird break through school. So, like, I had a test yesterday, but I've got, like, a week until my next thing is due. I've got, like, nothing to do. And then today it just stormed like all night and all this morning, just wet and gross outside. So I've been sitting inside playing video games, and then also thinking about streaming on Twitch. So, Trent, do you watch Twitch at all?
Very, very rarely. The only real Twitch that I watch is occasionally, if I have nothing to do, I'll watch like a Rocket League tournament, like RLCS.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, ooh, I wonder what's happening, and I'll watch for a little while. But I'm just not a huge like Twitch guy. I don't watch a whole lot of like live streams.
Right. See, like I usually watch YouTube recaps of Twitch streams because it's on demand. I can watch it when I want, and I don't feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's I watch some things sometimes. I used to watch Philza, who's a Minecraft streamer. He's a hardcore Minecraft streamer. He started on his new world like a year ago, I think, and he's like super far into it. But I watch his YouTube recaps now instead, because like I usually am busy during the day and I can't just sit and have a stream on while I do my work.
I have a really fun stream story for you, actually.
Yeah?
So one of my friends, Emily, watched Captain Sparkles for a little while, like a couple years ago. And Ian and I had a Minecraft world for a long time where we collected every single item possible in the game.
Tough.
And made a huge museum out of it. And she was watching Captain Sparkles, and like I forget how it worked. She might have like donated or something, or she sent a message to him on stream. And she said, "Hey, my friend just finished like collecting every single block in the whole game," and he read it and he goes, "Wow, that sounds like a terrible time." Like, congratulations. I don't know if I ever told you that. We
never
technically
did.
got a shout out from Captain Sparkles. Yeah.
How about that?
Isn't
That's
that
pretty
wild?
neat. What's the most famous you've ever been, Trent?
Man, that's tough.
Because I would say it'd be the RLCS thing when we were on.
That's pretty
RLCS
famous.
Stream.
I'm trying to think if being president of the United States, that was pretty famous for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, being overlord of Earth, that was a big one. I don't know if it's top, though. I did get on the news once, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I took a picture of a bobcat.
Okay.
It was a dope photo, though. I'm going to put it right there. Boom.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was like a really nice picture of a bobcat in my backyard.
Yum.
It's like a news station came into my house and like did a little documentary on it. It was like 3 minutes, but it was fun.
That's pretty neat. My local news actually got me saying something about like a job fair, I think, when I was in high school. And I was on the news. That was pretty nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also, I actually changed the Scholastic Dictionary definition of a word.
Yeah.
They did a whole documentary series in there, or documentary on it. That was cool.
Give us just a little bit of that, because I think that's really awesome.
We're running a little low on time here, but I'll tell this little story. It's not
just
super
a quick
long.
one. Yep.
So my sister's 2.5 years older than I am. She has Down syndrome. And when I was like 8 years old, I was like kind of starting to get curious on what that meant. So I went in the dictionary to find out what it was. And as part of the definition of Down syndrome, they used the word, I think it was like mental retardation. I forget exactly how it was used, but they used the word retard in it, which is, after doing research, actually was never medically the term they used, but was like widely accepted as the term for it, like being mentally retarded.
Okay.
And that has since changed for quite a while. That was like the term back in like the 1900s, but it's just not anymore.
Right.
And this was, maybe I could see it in like, you know, the whatever, like the Oxford Dictionary. This was the Children's Scholastic Dictionary. And so, with the help of my mom, I wrote a little email to Scholastic, and I said, hey, no. So I was like, hey, can you change it? Here are some substitutes. Here's why it's not, like, right.
Okay.
And about 6 months later, they got back to me, and they said, hey, we've updated the definition. You know, here is a copy of the dictionary. And so I got a copy of the new dictionary, and the new definition of Down syndrome It doesn't say it at all. It says intellectual disability on it instead, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So
That's interesting. Yeah, no, that's pretty neat. I have heard the term used in auto mechanics before to like to define. It's just like having a timing. So say like if you're trying to get an engine to fire at the right times, like sprout in gas and then put a spark in at the right time, you can retard the timing. That's a technical term that we use.
It is also, the word retard means to slow.
Yes.
So like something is fire retardant. It's not fireproof, but it slows the effects of fire.
Right.
So there are certainly like times when the word can be used in that kind of context. Probably avoid it just to be safe because there are other words. But like in order for it to describe somebody with disabilities, it has now like moved from the generally accepted term and is now considered hate speech.
Okay.
Just because, there's just a ton of other words for it. You know?
That's fair, yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm not trying to offer a case for it, but just saying there are technical terminologies for that word.
I learned the word at that definition, like to slow, in like freshman year of high school, I think. So it is totally like a word that is used, and in like the auto world, totally can be used. It's not used in that way at all. So, yeah.
I swear I'm not mean. I swear it. That would for like.
I believe you.
Yeah, no. Your sister, such a sweet person. I met her in person once. She had a crush on me, but she has a crush on everybody, like all your new friends, doesn't she?
That's true. And
that's
who
so
wouldn't
sweet.
have a crush on Ian Sherman?
Half the population.
Just saying, ladies.
Taken. It's not there,
Yeah,
but just imagine.
She's sweet.
Lily's sweet. Your sister is very sweet. Oh.
True.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet her again. Can't wait to see you in person again.
Hey, it'll happen ideally this summer. Okay.
Hopefully, we'll
Very
see.
fun.
So I will say, like, we are kind of thinking about getting together this summer, hopefully. But if things don't open up like we're thinking they will, because of the Ronus, I probably won't come up. I'll wait till next summer, so that way we can actually go out and do stuff. Because if I come over and we can't go out, I'm just going to be sitting in your room playing games. Like,
it should. Yeah, if it doesn't work, or things aren't open, it's just not worth it. It's a big trip, you know?
Yeah, it is a big trip. Also, the boost should be ready by then, so I can actually drive up.
That's true.
So hopefully. Yeah,
but,
so that should be fun. And then it should be fun if you listen to us. Hopefully you had fun.
Boom.
We had fun. I'd had fun talking to you.
I made it.
You made it?
I didn't get kicked out. I still got 30 minutes, I think, in this building. Nobody has yelled at me at my computer. Let's check the percentage.
What are we at?
49. We're killing it right now.
I thought you would be like almost dead.
I thought we'd get 15 minutes in, it would be dead, but we're good. We're good.
Hey, well, there we go. I think this is episode 11, right?
It is. It is indeed.
Yeah. So within that, thank you everyone for listening,
thank you for watching, listening, boom.
All that jazz. You can see Trent on Trent Breaks 3 on Instagrammy.
See Ian at the.nature.child.
You can see us at Trent and Ean Talking on Instagram.
Yeah, take a look at our YouTube, Spotify, wherever it is, you know.
It's just there.
Give us the love, you know.
Put it,
boom.
Slap it. Give us some love. Valentine's Day's coming up, so give us the love. We'll give you some love.
There you go.
We love you.
Boom.
But yeah, thank you everyone for listening and watching. We'll catch you later.
Boom. Peace.